What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tier Fawn Orbital. Today, I would like to talk a little bit about an install commission that I completed on a custom speeder bike themed hilt from Adam over at Kennedy Custom Props. So Adam did a run on his speeder bike hilt called the Speedy Boi. The first rendition of this hilt was done for the Saber Museum, I believe, and Adam got a lot of requests to do a run for these, so he did. I think he did like a 15 unit run or somewhere in that range, right? But just a really great hilt, really cool marble reveal in this guy. So I want to talk a little bit about the install. And then we will, of course, do a demo, right? So we're going to jump right into it. Let's come into Fusion, talk a little bit about the chassis, and then we will come up top. All right, so here is the chassis. Why is the chassis broken up into two parts, Tim? So I have recently moved into the FDM world, right? I have a Carbon X1 here in my shop that I have been putting through its paces. I want to try to get a lot of detail with my chassis. Like, you know, I'm used to getting a lot of detail, right? I'm used to having Greeblies all over my chassis, but I can't get that really fine, granular, sharp edge detail with FDM that I can get with resin. So I have been printing my chassis in PETG Carbon Fiber, and then I have been doing like Greebly panels and printing these off in resin, right? So that's why you see, let me see if I can grab this. That's why you see this separate panel here. So this was all printed in resin, and then I just kind of glued it to the side of the chassis, right? So I can get some Greebly detail. And along this side, so this was all printed regularly with the Carbon X1. I think I did this with like a 4.4 millimeter nozzle. And I'm actually really happy with the level of detail that I got on this, right? But this really small stuff, I just can't get with FDM just yet, right? These two holes are for small 2020 NeoPixel strip shine through, right? I think I mentioned this in a previous video. I used to have like a stock vent that I would put over this. I can't print that vent in FDM. So I've had to revise the way that I do shine through in my chassis. And that's what that is, right? Proffie board does slide up underneath this lip. There is a kill switch down here just underneath the board, and then the entire chassis makes a connection to the upper part of the hilt through this nipple here, right? This is a static chassis. Very close to the original chassis design that I did for the very first Speedy Boi that Adam did for the Saber Museum, just with some small edits, right, to allow for FDM printing. And that's it. So let's come up top. All right, so here it is. This is the Speedy Boi from Kennedy Custom Props. Speeder bike themed hilt. We have a really awesome knurled grip. So something that I really appreciate about Adam over at KCP is that he machines all of these Greeblies like by hand. I mean, obviously he's doing it on a lathe and a mill, but this is all done. These are not found objects. These are actually, like, he even makes, if I'm not mistaken, he makes the knurled thumb screws. The control box is all custom milled. The bunny ears, I mean, all of this is just custom done. So I can really appreciate the amount of work that goes into every one of these hilts, right? Really chunky hilt, feels awesome. I love the knurled grip. Just a really cool looking hilt. And then of course up top we've got a marble reveal, and even that marble chamber was all, you know, milled by Adam. So I can really appreciate the amount of work that goes into a hilt like this, right? So let's talk about how to use it, right? This is a set screw grip, right? So you want to undo these two brass knurled thumb screws and then take your grip off. So here is the chassis. I've done this in, so this is PETG Carbon Fiber. This is the side that is not resin. Again, like, I'm really happy with the amount of detail that I got there. And then around this side is this is like that resin Greebly panel that I put on. Proffie board is here. This is a 28 millimeter speaker from Smugglers Outpost. And here is our battery tray, right? So let me get a battery. Should be more prepared. So here is our battery, right? So spring side is your negative. You want to take the flat part of your battery, put put it spring side down, hit that kill switch. So there are those two animated 2020 NeoPixel strips. And I've kind of changed, each font is different. They have a different animation with each font. And then there's a marble all lit up. Okay. So once you get your battery in, you can put your grip back in place. Just line those two holes up. Put your thumb screws back on. And you're ready to go. All right. So let's come down to the bottom. So there's that crystal chamber or marble chamber. Really, really cool touch there. Oops. Try to do something a little different with each font in that marble chamber. It's a really good sounding hilt. Let's put a blade in it. Okay, so this is a 1-inch blade holder. There is a knurled thumb screw up top that will serve as your blade retention. There is also a custom blade plug that has been included with the hilt, which I think is a nice touch. So you want to take your blade plug out, loosen that thumb screw. Whoops. Put your blade... Rest your blade on those PCB pins, tighten your thumb screw, and you're set. Let's see what else we put on here. One more. One more.
The NASA team is ready for launch.
Let's do one more. So that's it, right? Really, really great hilt from Adam over at Kennedy Custom Props. I love that marble reveal. I'm always, I'm a sucker for speeder hilts. And this one is really, really, really cool looking. And I can always appreciate the amount of work that goes into a hilt like this, because all of this stuff, it takes time to mill all of this out and assemble it. So I can really appreciate the amount of work that goes into a hilt like that. So that's all I got. To the customer, thank you very much for trusting me with your install. If anyone has any questions about this particular install or anything really, please do not be a stranger. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Goodbye.